you don't even really mean the word as being offensive. You don't mean to offend anybody with it. You're just communicating. You're just you're saying
you're
stuff. Okay, I equate it to different countries having different words for things. Like, for example, where is it where you call your cigarette? Was that in the United Kingdom? Yeah, and you call it a fag. Okay, call a cigarette a fag here. You're offensive.
Right.
You know, partially because you said fag, and partially because you're
and in
using
UK,
United Kingdom words.
If you call somebody a bender,
yeah, exactly, then you're calling them a homosexual.
And if you call somebody a bender here, they're going to be like, okay, water, earth, air, fire.
Right. Or they're going to be like, you called me a robot. Because that was Bender.
Right.
Bender, yeah.
So,
but it's not... Phil, what is the most offensive thing that's ever been said to you? Has ever been said to you? What was the most offensive thing? Doesn't
muffin.
have to have... Doesn't... Huh? Did you say muffin? Okay, that... you need to explain that one.
No,
Yeah.
I believe it was you and Eric who came up with that. So why don't you explain that one?
Oh!
Let me explain.
Freeze is the ultimate prick.
That's noun, not verb. Okay. Way back in the day, it used to be a play on Phil's last name because it's Mifflin.
Right.
And Eric and I used to just torture him and call him Muffin. Like,
you're a prick, dude.
What?
You're a prick.
We were kids.
You're still a prick.
We were teenagers.
We were kids.
You were teenagers. You knew better.
We was chillins.
We were
and hold on, wait. As far as being teenagers, that's when you grow into learning and the proper utilization of swear words and swear phrases. That's when you really start to kind of build up the cussing vocabulary that you are going to use all throughout your adult life.
Yeah.
Yeah. So see, I don't think that we should be held accountable for the words we've said as teenagers.
Bull.
No. I think that's just learning.
Okay.
No, I disagree because I still hold offense to muffin today.
I think you just disagree because you're being a bitch about the whole
Diane
thing.
wants to go cook something in cupcake holders and calls them muffins. I feel offended.
You feel offended. Wait, so now the regular use of the word muffin now offends you
because
of the way that
it scars me.
You scarred him for life.
It scarred me.
Okay. We're going to need you to get over that, you little bitch. Now. But again,
use the words while you can.
Like I stated, a word only has as much power as you give it. See?
And you and Eric gave it a lot.
No, you're giving it a lot. Okay. That word had no more power than it did before we said it. Andrew, most offensive thing ever said to you?
No, Philly cheesesteak is okay. I'm okay with that.
See, we were calling you Motown Philly. But that's what Andrew started.
Diana just posted Philly cheesesteak.
Yeah.
Oh.
Most offensive thing.
Is that what she calls your dick?
Wouldn't you like to know?
Oh, no, I would not like to know. I asked the question, but it was rhetorical as fuck. Andrew, most offensive thing said to you ever?
I would say, well, once I understood its meaning.
Yeah.
When I was 6 years old, one of my cousins, who had a different, who was on my mom's side of the family, so they had a different last name than me, used to call me Junior Weed.
Junior Weed?
Yes.
Wow.
Still calls me to this day.
That might be your new... Vote in now on the website if you'd like Andrew Grass to change his broadcasting name to Junior Weed. Because that's awesome. Me personally, I like full-grown weed. But that is awesome. Most offensive thing said to me.
Is it the N-word?
Yeah. Because, for all the offensive words that we covered.
I'm surprised that one wasn't on the list, actually.
I'm not, because I was going to see which one of you was going to stick it there, so I knew whose ass to put my foot up. But yeah, we're talking about that popular N-word. And, there's two schools of thought on that one, too, because rappers are using it, and street kids are using it, and this, that, and the other.
Black folks call other black folks the same thing.
Exactly, and there's always that age-old debate. Why is it okay for us to say it, and it's not okay for them to say it, and so on and so forth. And by the way, I actually have an answer to that question. Oh, you'd like it?
I'd like to hear it.
Okay, here we go. In answer to the age-old question, Why is it okay for black folks to use the N-word towards each other, but yet not expect other races to use it? And the answer is nothing. There is absolutely no reason why it should be acceptable for Americans of African descent to utilize that word, whereas other races cannot. There's no middle ground on that. It's kind of like if you come to my house and I piss in my living room floor, and then you piss in my living room floor, and then I bitch at you about it, and I say, hey, man, the fuck? Why are you pissing in my living room floor? Well, by pissing in my own living room floor, I've set precedent. Okay? I have basically said that the behavior of pissing in the floor is acceptable to me. Not only acceptable to me, but engaged in by me. So I can't get mad when you do it. You know, it's one of those things. Now, the argument on the other side of that fence is that generally, if another race is using this word, they are using it in an offensive manner. They're using it because they are attempting to elicit a negative reaction within a black person. Okay? Whereas when black people are using it, it is, for all intents and purposes, from what I understand, it is intended as a term of endearment or friendship or camaraderie. Now, I don't know that I buy all that. Mm-hmm. I don't know that I buy that. I think that it is part of a slave mentality that erupted from way, way back when that word was in common usage in both sides, because blacks were describing themselves as that based on what, you know, their slave owners, their slave masters, and those that were using it in negative connotation were doing it. You know, it's the and it's the same with racial slurs all over the planet. Okay, no matter which racial slur you use, if you find somebody of that race that's using it like to themselves or to their own kind or whatnot, they tend to use it as kind of like a throwback to a time when that word was of common usage and so on and so forth. You're asking me, there's no excuse for it. And so I find that word actually very offensive. In fact, when I use it just to show exactly how offensive and how stupid it actually sounds. You see me talking to other black folks, and like literally unless I'm imitating someone, I don't use it because it bugs the hell out of me. And that's my take on that.
Fair enough.
So I'm kind of glad that it didn't make the list, but part of me thinks it should have. And part of me thinks that if it had made the list, I think that aside from retard and faggot, I think that word very well could have raised to the top. And for as crass as I am online, on broadcast, even in the interest of comic fodder, will I not utter that word.
Can I throw something out?
Go for it.
I think it also speaks to the group as a whole, that we didn't even think of using that word at all, period.
Right.
You know, it wasn't brought up as an option, even though it is a vile word.
Yes.
And I don't think anybody should be using it. I don't care whether you're black, I don't care whether you're white, whether you're Hispanic, whether you're Asian, whatever the case may be. I think the word just should never be used.
Right.
Because I understand that there is a huge history behind the word. But I can't tell black people how to speak, especially if it's talking amongst themselves. I can't even tell white people how to speak because this is America and you can say whatever the hell you want.
Right.
But you have to be prepared for the consequences of saying those utterances.
And it's funny that you say that because we're talking about, you know, things that we can say and whatnot. And often people go back and they say, well, it's free speech. And,
right.
And I don't know that hate speech per se is constitutionally protected.
Well, you remember what I said last night? Just because you can say it, just because you can do it, doesn't mean you should.
You know what? Now I kind of understand that statement a little more.
That's where I come from on a lot of things. Because I can take my car and, you know, run it into a tree and hope that a child is in front of it because I'm a sick bastard. Right. Doesn't mean I should do it. There's a lot of things we can do. There's a lot of things we shouldn't do also.
Exactly. Phil, thoughts?
I agree.
You agree?
Yeah,
I agree.
All right.
I've never used the word.
So
don't like it.
So we agree that the N-word is just completely off the table from the start. And that's fine.
And we got 4 minutes for a sports.
But you know what? We got cunt, and that's all that matters.
Oh,
and now, for a very, very truncated Andrew Grass's.
I've been like sitting here like I had to go potty or something. Cause I'm like, I'm waiting to
He was so happy.
Okay,
all right, let's do it.
I gotta have
the
my horn.
Average Joe Sports Report.
Yep.
Right?
That's right. Where's my horn?
Oh, wait. Here we go.
Gotta have my horn. I want to take the headphones off. Blues hockey! All right. Hey, I timed it perfectly at the end.
He did. He
right.
did.
Little Blues news. The Blues have re-signed defenseman Carl Gunnarsson to a 3-year contract for $8.7 million. Last night, the Blues played a wonderful game against played a nice little match between the Dallas Stars. They were fighting for first place in the Central Division. They beat the Dallas Stars last night in Dallas in overtime by the score of 5-4. Troy Brouwer, Vladimir Tarasenko, and Kevin Shattenkirk had... Nice, dude. I got a timer to my left, and it's like, I got to fit this in somehow. That's what she said. Kevin Shattenkirk scored 2 goals, all contributed to the scoring in regulation, with Alex Pietrangelo scoring the game winner in overtime. Now, I've got some pretty major concerns about the Blues come playoff time, not just because they haven't made it to a Stanley Cup in almost 50 freaking years. No, mainly worried because they seem to have problems holding a lead. Ooh. The Blues and Stars traded goals through the first period and about half the second period before Shattenkirk scored 2 goals to take the Blues to a lead of 4-2. And then Jason Spezza scored his third goal, or scored the third goal for the Stars. And then the Stars pulled goalie Antti Niemi while Robbie Fabry was sent off the ice for hooking late in regulation, which was really stupid. So it was a 6-on-4 power play, and Jamie Benn put the biscuit in the basket right past Jake Allen to tie it up with 1:16 left in regulation. But, of course, as I mentioned, Alexander Pietrangelo scored the game winner in overtime for the Blues to win by 5-4. The Blues are now tied for first place in the Central Division with 91 points and are riding a 6-game winning streak. The Blues won 11 out of their last 14 games and are ascending at the right time in this current 6-game winning streak. The Blues have scored 26 goals. That is over a 4-goal-per-game average. The Blues and Stars are tied with Chicago, and at first place with Chicago right below them in third place with 88 points. Dallas and St. Louis both have 12 games left. Chicago has 13. I got 1 minute left, so I'll make it count.
All right.
Johnny Peralta left camp on Monday with an injury to the thumb on his left hand and went through some thumb surgery on Thursday. He's expected to be out 10 to 12 weeks. This is a bit of a blow to the Cardinals from an offensive standpoint, as Peralta has been a consistent home run power source for the Cards in the past 2 seasons, hitting 38 home runs. The Cardinals are going to give a chance to rookie Aledmys Diaz, backup infielder Greg Garcia, and recently traded for Jed Jerko. I'm hoping Diaz can perform well enough to take the job. After he was almost released, he was actually demoted to AAA, or he was demoted and he ended up in his last 14 games hitting .380 with a .448 on-base percentage and a .620 slug. And granted, while a very small sample, these stats happened right after he was nearly released by the Cards, so it was a bit of a wake-up call. And last but certainly not least, oh man, I really wanted to get to the Rams here. But, okay. 2011 NLCS and World Series MVP.
Wait.
Text message from Kitty.
That's Kitty.
Sir, Leona Rose. Sorry, was with a customer. Free if you want to talk.
Up. We might have to go into overtime.
Too late.
Go ahead.
All right, so 2011 NLCS and World Series MVP and favorite son of St. Louis, David Freese.
Oh, that's it.
That's it.
You killed it. Keep going. Just fuck it. Keep going.
Signed with the Pittsburgh Pirates. He's signed a 1-year, $3 million deal. He's going to hold down third base for the Pirates while Jung Ho Kang works on coming back from injury. And, Kevin Demoff did something really, really stupid by talking about business and personal ethics in sports when that bastard has absolutely no ethics at all. He stole the goddamn Rams from the goddamn city of St. Louis.
He's on one, folks.
Wait, we do have our Urban Dictionary word of the week.
Yes, we do.
All right, and since Phil left the room, I guess it's just going to be mine.
Uh-huh.
The word of the week is...
Urban Dictionary word of the week is...
arm cardio.
Arm cardio.
Since his girlfriend broke up with him, he's been really getting a lot of arm cardio.
Ah.
What do you got? Okay, I want to hear this. Phil's back in.
Okay, I have Alabama Hot Pocket.
Oh, my God.
It is a verb.
Oh my